Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, everybody. Come on in. Today has been wild. There's kids playing, there's dogs eating. You'll probably hear my dog. He's in the laundry room, chomping on some kibble. How's everybody doing? Lady Freedom, Dawn, Grace, Lisa B. Always. Let's see, who else do we have? I think that's all so far. There'll be more coming, I'm sure. Or they may be on other channels right now. I was going to come on earlier, and I had to cook supper really quick. How's today going? Hope everybody's doing really good. I've had some things actually in my phone that I went over from April of this year that I was looking at. And let me see if I can start this off right and in order. Still having trouble being in order. Let's see here. First off, and we pray that it isn't Sebastian, but I know you guys may have already heard, as of last night, one of the members in chat, I think it was in Lady Freedom's chat, we were in there, and she notified us that there was something going on in Nashville. I don't know if you'd seen that or not, but I'm going to pull it up on screen. I'm praying it's not anything to do with Sebastian, but when we get news, we always play it. Grace or Lady, if you could please give credit to MSN. It's not a video, but it is an article. And I'm going to scroll down and then I'm going to bring you on screen. Let you guys see this. That's my dog. Sorry. Let's see if I can remove. Oh, I'm having such trouble with the media stuff. Hang on, guys. Sorry about that. Let's take the overlay off. Okay. I'm going to read this to you guys. A body was discovered on Monday in a creek near Old Paragon Mills Road, prompting an active investigation by Metro Nashville Police Department. According to Metro Nashville Police Department, a nearby resident spotted the body, which appeared to have been there for an extended period. The victim is believed to be a man, but his identity and race remain unknown at this time. So it could be a man. Due to the condition of the victim's body and its remote location, it's unclear whether foul play is involved. The medical examiner's office is working to confirm the victim's identity and determine the cause and manner of death. Investigators remain on scene, and more information is expected as the case develops. On Fox 17 News will update this story as those details come in. So, we see that. Okay. I did a little research back long ago about red flags while interviewing missing child's parents. Okay, we're going to read this. I'm going to stroll up to the comments. Sorry about that, guys. I'm hitting buttons everywhere. Yeah, Lady was supposed to have a wrench, Grace Paris, but it's not showing, Lady, for some reason. I'll have to figure that out. In a missing child's case, red flags during a parent interview include threats of abduction. And all this is speculation, fair use for me to give our opinions, education only. A history of hiding or withholding the child, a lack of community ties, sudden changes in behavior, like quitting jobs or selling property, and a history of relationship problems or domestic violence. Also, strong affiliations with another country, especially if the parent has lived there. Okay. Yeah, lady was supposed to have a wrench. I'll see what's going on with that. Number 2, red flags. In an interview, if someone is attempting to hide guilt, they might exhibit red flags like dishonesty, defensiveness, and inconsistencies in their answers. These behaviors can include lying, evasive responses, negative talk about past employers, or an inability to think critically. Other potential red flags include a lack of enthusiasm, overconfidence, inappropriate attire, or a failure to answer questions directly. Red flag. Number 3, when an interviewee speaks in the third person. Now get this, pay close attention. When an interviewee speaks in third person, they are referring to themselves, using pronouns like he, she, or they, rather than I or we. This can be done consciously for various reasons, or it may be unconscious self-distancing technique. In investigative interviews, the investigator should ensure the third person is not speaking on behalf of the interviewee and that the interviewee is being heard directly. Okay, let's see. And I'm going to put Sebastian's picture up there again. I'm going to read this from my phone because I couldn't get it to download. But I do want to tell you guys, I'm going to put this banner up here. And this is all speculation. And in my opinion, this is for fair use. Okay. And I typed up the interview after using a dictation device. The first interview of CP and KP that was ever done. Okay. And it says, CP says, does not have a history of running. The young man doesn't go outside very much. Everybody in the neighborhood knows him. He is very much to himself, so to speak. That sounds contradicting to me, right? Between the hours of 12 and 6, he is basically vanished. Walked out of the house, the door was locked, and gone. There's actually clear, so there's transparency across the board. The mom and I, okay, the way he's speaking right here, in my opinion, is third person. Was on the phone 9:45 or 9:46 in the evening, stayed on the phone for quite some time. The call logs have been verified. Now, who does this sound like? In my opinion, this sounds like a repeat of LE, okay? By all the police departments, TBI included, we stayed on the phone. It was very lengthy. Mom did start to fall asleep. That's third person. While she was on the couch, I said, hey, you, to wake up, put the dogs up, go to bed. Let me remind you, that was around midnight, right before midnight. So mom goes to bed, wakes up early in the morning to go wake her son up. Do you see how the third person thing came to play? Hang on, we're going to put that back up. We're going to put the red flags back up. Let's see here. Where's my red flags? I'm lost. Y'all are gonna laugh at me so hard. I've got so much going on, and if I don't get to finish it, then guys, I will have to finish it another time. But I really want to finish this. Okay, let's take the banner down. Okay, you see that it says when they are referring to themselves or they want to distance themselves from what has went on, then they use third person. Okay. She fell asleep while she was on the couch. I said, hey, wake up, put the dogs up, go to bed. Let me remind you, that was around midnight, right before midnight. I already read that. Sorry. So mom goes to bed, wakes up early in the morning to go wake her son up, get him ready for school. And now we have a worried mom who can't find her son in the house. Mom made an effort to look and search several times. So in 3 minutes, you searched several times. Mom has called me at the time and asked me. She said, I can't find him. I said, do what? She said, yes, I can't find him. I said, do what? Okay, hang on. Now listen, I made the phone call and reported it to the sheriff's department. They only say it was a 3-way call, right? This is CP. I made the phone call and reported it to the sheriff's department because that's what we're supposed to do. And within 10 minutes, the sheriffs were dispatched to the location. We, as parents, know how social media can be and seeing how kids can be easily manipulated. Yeah, he is 15 in age and in his body, but in his mind, he's not called up to his body. But that is something that goes with autistic children. As everybody would know, but for the record, I am very strict parent. I do. He does not have a social media. Not in our household. He does online games. I mean, I'm pretty strict parent when it comes to that situation. At that point, KP coughs, reporter asking about the search efforts. CP. So currently, as of today, the National Guard was brought in to help with the search. But they have fixed wing aircrafts, helicopters, horseback, ATVs, side by side, door to door. Scouring outreach from the community in various counties have been extremely loving. I mean, we've been told this is one of the largest searches they've conducted. With so much input, it is a case to be studied for sure. Would he be able to ride a city bus? Nothing is off the tables. As far as abilities, can the young man get on a bus? I'm sure he could. KP, CP says, we've never rode a city bus. I don't think he understands the process. He doesn't have any sense of money. He may have like a $20 bill in his hand, but let's say, does he truly know what $20 would get him? KP says, he's good with math, but he doesn't understand time and money. Reporter talking about Seth says he doesn't know where he's at either, correct? CP says that is correct. KP says his father is very much involved with his life. The relationship between all three of us as parents is not your common one. Me and the father talk on a regular basis. We call each other. We talk. We heard anything. How's he doing? Is he acting up? It's not, there's really no animosity between the parents. The reporter says special interests. KP, playground. CP says he loved playgrounds. He loves to play. I give him that. Friends-wise. KP says he wants friends. CP says Sebastian, his idea of a friend is what? He has 2 kids that he talks to at school, but he is extremely socially awkward. So it's difficult for him to make friends, which has been this boy's only lifelong dream. I mean, for Christmas, what do you want for Christmas? I want friends. Birthday. What do you want for your birthday? Friends. Anything he could do to get a friend, he would love to do it, which is really dangerous because that could open up doors for somebody to say, I'll be your friend, and potentially cause harm. The reporter talks about where there are cameras in your area. Sorry, guys, that I'm not looking at the chat. I will here in a minute. CP says, our entire neighborhood and surrounding neighborhoods voluntarily and with generosity have given up any video footage that they have got. The departments come in and view and monitor. So as far as the cameras, everyone has turned over everything. There's thousands of hours of stuff that they are combing through to try and find an answer. The reporter says, was he in process of headed to his father's house? CP, yeah, that has not been ruled out. Like I said, the search completely widespread and thorough. So nobody is ruling that out as a possibility. KP, normally when he wants to go to his dad's, he just says so, and we just call his dad. CP, I mean, his dad will come down here. We meet halfway. I mean, there's he's never wanted to go away. KP, I mean, and then she pauses. Reporter says, what else can you tell us about Sebastian? CP says, I mean, he's an avid Minecraft fan. Loves the color green. Got the goofiest and quirkiest smile in the world. I don't think anybody, home phone ringing in background at that moment, could mimic it, to be honest with you. Loves to dance. That boy will dance his tail off. Reporter says, something about autistic children are drawn to water. CP says, so he is a fish in water. Let me tell you right now, is there but here's the distinction. He's not a child that likes to get dirty. He can't stand to have his hands dirty. He can't stand bugs. He's fearful of flies and things. So if he goes swimming, he's a pool kid. He's not a river, a stream kind of kid. He's swimming pool bound. That right there statement, even though you're explaining Sebastian, is very strange to me, guys, in my opinion. Okay, the reporter says, what about the misinformation? CP says TBI was assisting, but there was some kind of confusion. People thought the FBI was actually assisting in the case. They were consulted in the CART team. The FBI is not physically on the ground. Somewhere in one of the news clips, it was said that they made it to the ground. They're not. TBI has reached out to the behavioral analyst team or their CART team, and they are not trying to work with them. They are trying to work with them from a distance. They're not physically present to help in any way, form, shape that they can render their assistance. At that point, they talk about burner phones. KP says there isn't evidence of a secret phone. Do you see that, guys? There isn't evidence of a secret phone. CP says, this case, very extremely unusual. Like I've said before, we are pretty strict when it comes to certain things. And as far as phones, electronic devices, there was one phone. KP states, good day, great weekend, supper that evening, playing when I told him to go to bed. Love you, mama, love you, puppies. Later in the evening, I went to bed, went to wake him up for school. He wasn't there. He's not a runner. None of his shoes are missing. Why do you feel the need to say if his shoes are missing or not, in my opinion? I fell asleep on the couch and went to bed around midnight. He doesn't have a social media, and the only friends that he had were a couple of kids at school. All the kids that had an interaction with him have been interviewed and asked. He was very young in mind. That's the end of the first interview. Okay. Let's show some more. Hello, everyone coming in. Come on in. Come on in. I know this is going to take a while. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. There is yet another child missing out of Sumner County in Gallatin. Okay. We are requesting the public assistance in locating Hayden Ganius, a 15-year-old individual with active runaway petitions, whatever that is. She was last seen at 790 Greenwave Drive at approximately 1,530 hours. That's military time, guys. Wearing a black Nike sweatshirt and boxer shorts. She is described as approximately 5'5", 120 pounds with reddish hair and hazel eyes. Please contact Gallatin Police Department at 615-452-1313 if you have any relevant information. Okay. I had to bring that out. And right here, it says the information again. Her eyes are light coffee, whatever that means. I guess like light brown. Okay. We all know too. Let's see here. Trying to see where I'm going with this. There's some of these things that I screenshotted, guys, and I don't know exactly where they came from. Okay, this is the timeline of the news article. I know where it came from. I want to read this to you. Okay, this was in the newspaper, the Tennessean. It's been nearly 3 months since Sebastian was last seen at his mother and stepfather's home, just around the corner from where he attended classes at Beach High School in Tennessee. I don't want my son to become a cold case, Seth Rogers said during an appearance Tuesday on Elizabeth Vargas Reports. The way I'm seeing things now, it's going to be a cold case. We're not going to let that happen, guys. Sebastian Rogers is described as being 5'5" with sandy blonde hair. He was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses. Anyone with information should call, I say, the FBI or 911 or Dog, the bounty hunter, at night. Okay, let me find the second page to this. Okay. Let's see. Where am I at? Okay. I hope I'm in order. The Proudfoots also confirmed they left home with Chris Proudfoot saying he was going back to work and his wife accompanying him. I think I'm going in the wrong order. Hang on just a second. Okay. Sorry. Okay, here we go. What happened to Sebastian Rogers? The Tennessee teen was last seen the night and heard the night of February 25th in the Sumner County home, Katie and Chris Proudfoot in Hendersonville. Sebastian is autistic, and his mother said she heard a thud from his room around 10 p.m. About an hour after he went to bed. She added that she called out for the teen to keep it down, who responded, and she told him to go to bed. Okay. Rogers' disappearance has prompted a massive search, but multiple potential sightings of the teen have not led investigators to find the boy. Here's what has happened in the case so far. Sebastian Rogers last seen alive February 25th, 2024. Sebastian Rogers is last seen by his mother. Now, I want you to listen to this. Whether they made a mess up in the newspaper or what, listen. Sebastian Rogers is last seen by his mother, Katie Proudfoot, and stepfather, Chris Proudfoot. Last seen. Okay. Last seen by Katie and Chris Proudfoot is what it's saying in the newspaper. Could have made a mistake. Who knows? Katie Proudfoot describes her son as being very smart and not a teen prone to mischief. Katie Proudfoot said she heard a thud from her son's room around 10 p.m. that night and told him to go to sleep. Endangered child alert issued for Sebastian Rogers on February 26th. Katie Proudfoot said she went to wake her son up only to find he was not in bed. More than 200 searchers are sent out to search for the missing teen, including canine units, mounted officers, drones, and helicopters. Amber Alert issued. February 27, 2024, authorities changed the alert to an Amber Alert, which indicates investigators believe an abduction could be involved and the child is in immediate danger. Search efforts continued with police using the teen's favorite song, Eye of the Tiger, to try and lure him out. They also asked people in the area to check security cameras and under homes. Let's see. Okay. March 7, 2024, police search a landfill in White Plains, Kentucky. Authorities called the search a precaution, noting it was where trash from Rogers' neighborhood was taken, and said there was no specific evidence that led to the search. March 10th, 2024, Sebastian Rogers' biological father, Seth Rogers, expressed fears that something nefarious has happened. Noting his son wasn't the type to wander, he also said Sebastian Rogers did not like going barefoot after an incident as a child, though he reportedly had no shoes in the description given to officers. March 14, 2024, news outlet WTVF obtained footage from outside the Proudfoot's home, which appears to show activity around 3 a.m. the night Sebastian disappeared, with lights, possibly flashlights. March 15, 2024, the TBI released a statement saying there's no evidence of criminal activity and that the family was cooperating fully. That's the TBI. The agency also warned people against sharing surveillance video online, noting it could be misinterpreted. March 21st, 2024, Seth Rogers organized a search of the Natachi Trace State Park, the writing's really little, 100 miles from Sumner County after a tip suggested the family do so. Nothing was found. United Cajun Army joined search March 23, 2024. The United Cajun Navy joined the search after the end of searches for Riley Strand, a college student who disappeared in Nashville and whose body was found in the Cumberland River. Let's see here. March 29, 2024, the United Cajun Army or Cajun Navy pulls out of search efforts. Let's see, I'm missing. Okay. Citing threats made to volunteers as the reason for suspending operations. Police continue to seek leads in Rogers' disappearance. April 2nd, 2024. In an update, investigators confirmed a pair of glasses had been found during the course of the investigation, but could not definitively confirm they belonged to the missing teen. Authorities also reiterated, well, where'd you go, guys? Where am I at? Okay. Okay. It says glasses. Okay. In an update, investigators confirmed a pair of glasses have been found during the course of the investigation, but could not definitively confirm they belong to the missing teen. Authorities also reiterated there is currently no evidence of criminal activity. The Proudfoots also confirmed they left home with Chris Proudfoot saying he was going back to work and his wife accompanying him. April 17th, Seth Rogers hires private investigator to help with search of his son. May 7th, 2027, investigator confirm 18. Let's see. Photographed in North Carolina is not Sebastian Rogers. Seth Rogers had previously stated he believed the photos showed his son. Sebastian Rogers' father calls for FBI May 21st, 2024. Seth Rogers called for the nation's top law enforcement agency to take over the investigation. This was in 2024, guys. Let's see. Okay, the last of it is, it's been nearly, I don't want my son to become a cold case, Seth Rogers said during the appearance Tuesday. Elizabeth Vargas reports, the way I've seen things now, it's a cold case. We are not going to let Sebastian grow cold. Sebastian Rogers, described as 5 foot 5 inches, sandy blonde hair. He's last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses. Anyone with information, please contact DOG or FBI or 911. Okay? Now, guys, this is confusing to me, and if you have seen this before, please let me know. But this was in a chat. I don't know if I was in that chat. I marked the name out on this person because I intend to kind of highlight this and send this somewhere. But this really, really confused me. And I know the name on it, but I looked them up and I can't really find who they are. Look at this. Chris had cameras. Hang on, let me move this banner thing. This is getting on my nerves. Hang on. Not a banner. Maybe media. Hang on just a second. I'm going to read this. I'm going to take that off. Okay. Chris had cameras 4 months ago, and I know for a fact. I have the missing puzzle and can prove it. There's already been 6 people told the LE what they saw, but they didn't listen. CP took him out when she left, going to look for him, and gave him to Chris' mom. She was waiting for them down the road from the school. Now, whether this is true or not, I'm not spreading misinformation, but I can't remember. It was back in April that I screenshot this, and I was like, oh, I got to send this to somebody. And, I was so dumb, I guess, about the case at that point that I didn't know where to send it or what to do. So, that being said, I am going to make sure it gets to the right place with the name on there, so maybe it can be looked at. I'm not sure if that's even true. There's a lot of speculations. We can speculate all day long. Okay, number 1. See here. We've talked about this before. Ray Whitley announces retirement September 1st. Let's read a little. He gives his speech about, after 45 years of service as District Attorney General for the 18th Judicial District, Sumner County, Ray Whitley will officially retire on September 1st, 2025. Whitley, who holds the distinction of being Tennessee's longest-serving district attorney general, began his career in 1971 after returning from military service in Vietnam, where he served as a U.S. Army captain. He went on to serve as a federal prosecutor with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Nashville before moving to Sumner County in 1978 to become an assistant district attorney. 2 years later, Governor Lamar Alexander appointed him to the top role, and Whitley has been reelected to the position 6 times since 1982. So, I don't know if I can read this, but he gives a speech, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look here. Look here. In addition to his courtroom work, Whitley has been a mentor to young attorneys and a trusted partner to law enforcement. Sumner County Sheriff Eric Craddock praised Whitley's legacy. General Whitley's retirement marks the close of a remarkable chapter in Sumner County's history. His decades of service have been defined by a tireless pursuit of justice, an unwavering commitment to the rules. I can't see that, guys, sorry. And a steady presence in our courts. So guess what? They can give, Craddock can give a speech, and he can come out in public and say things. But what about an update? Do you think we might could do that? I don't know. We can speak on everything else, right? Okay, let's see. Hang on. I had more, but now I can't find it. Hello, Brand Flakes. Hello, everybody coming in. Lady Freedom said KK's boss was there at the house when upgrading. Wonder if that's who that was. I don't know. I don't know who. I have the name on there, but I don't know if anybody had ever seen that. I don't know if I got it from a screenshot from a chat. I don't know where I got it, to be honest. But that was very strange when I ran across it, and I was like, wow. Okay, well, I'm going to show this. But anyways, just so you know, I know what I was going to pull up, and I forgot to add it. But Sumner County is going to be having a meeting on, I think it's the 29th, about funding. And there's people saying that they're giving too much to the athletics and not enough to disabled children for playgrounds. And also, I guess, realty funding. I know what else it was I was going to talk about. Also in Nashville, guys, they're putting in, and this was from a news article, and I'll pull it out the next time that I'm on here. But they're putting in tunnels like that's in Las Vegas for you to drive your smart cars through. They have approved that. Okay? Tunnels underground that you drive 40 miles an hour or below. Really crazy. A lot of craziness going on over in there. But I will show proof of that because it's in a newspaper article. And I think they're supposed to elect, if I'm not mistaken, the deadline to turn in for people that want to run for district attorney, I think is October something. And then they will decide on a new one by next spring. So anyways, love you guys. Hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you soon. God bless y'all. Thank you for coming in today. I really do appreciate you guys. You mean the world to me. Please hit that like button, and thank you so much. Love y'all. Bye.